I had a room like this when I was a kid. I didn't have this. I got 2 TVs here, you know, 2 beds, you know, and of course I got the, you know, the Technics 1200 MK2 right here, which is the hip hop machine. You know, things would have changed. Because if I had one of these, I wouldn't have needed one of these. I would just be, you know, rocking the shit. I started out as a folk singer, you know, playing pretty traditional, you know, like, you know, really traditional, you know, like Mississippi John Hurt type stuff, and, you know, these just folk tales, you know. John Hardy was a desperate man, carried a razor every day. So that was a pretty strong current, and what I still do now. But then I started experimenting with it lyrically, and or changing things around, or maybe I'll play it a little harder. I had this whole idea that I could just be my own band. You know, I could play punk rock on acoustic guitar. You know, these were delusions of grandeur, of course, but my distortion pedal most of the time was the lyrics, you know.
As a casualty with a repossessed car, Vietnam vet playing air guitar. It's just the shit, can't speed, take a try, driving neighbors down,
I had these neighbors who lived downstairs from me, and they were a gay couple of truckers. One of them was from Georgia. He had a huge beard, you know, and he was pretty coked out, and he would come home and just fall into these just days and days of debauchery and imbibing much alcohol and substances, and after about the 3rd or 4th day, it would end in a brawl, you know, the 2 of them together. And one final one where things really came to blows, and I was recording the song upstairs. I lived upstairs with him. And I couldn't even, I was trying to play, and their arguments were so much louder than my music. I just stopped playing, and I recorded this long tape of them arguing, and then finally, you know, we didn't live in a very good neighborhood, so we had a front door, and then there's another door that's steel, you know. So the one with the beard got locked outside, you know, the other one pushed him outside, and he locked the steel door. So he went in the back and found an axe, and he was trying to chop down the steel door, and the whole building was shaking, and they were screaming the most insane things. It was really like poetry, almost. And I was really disturbed by the whole thing. The other guy finally came out, and they were both fighting with axes, you know, like some crazed modern Vikings or something, you know, in battle. And then the other one went up and down the street and smashed all the car windows, and there was ambulances and fire trucks, and people were bleeding, and, you know, it was a mess.
whiskey stained back to the backwoods creep. Grizzly bear motherfucker never goes to sleep. It's just the shit, kicking speed, taking track, driving the neighbors down stairs.
I played the Hollywood Pantages Theater a year or so ago, and Beck opened the show for me. So I listened to him backstage, and I was so impressed with the way he could do Appalachian music, you know, hillbilly. He's really good at it. And then his own songs, and I especially liked Rowboat. It sounded like something I might have written or might have done in the 60s. You know, I was going through some kind of weird times. I don't know a lot of his music, but I knew that one, and that one worked, I think, really well.
Rowboat, row me to the shore. She don't want to be my friend no more.
Actually, I wrote the song. There's this country club in Los Angeles called the Palomino, and it's somewhat famous. And there was the house country band was playing there, and the pedal steel player, I started talking to him, and I made friends with him, and I asked him if he would be interested in recording with me, because at the time I was recording outside of town, and he said, yeah, sure. And so about 2 days later, I was getting ready. I was going to go pick him up, take him down to the studio, and I realized I didn't have any country songs on hand. You know, I didn't have any pedal steel worthy songs. So I just quickly wrote the song before, so I would show up and I wouldn't be empty-handed.
In an hour or so, you wrote the song in a couple of hours?
No, it was very fast, because I didn't have much time. I had to go pick the guy up and... Roll me to the shore. She don't wanna be my friend no more. She dug a hole in the bottom of my soul, and she don't wanna be my friend no more. Pick me up, give me some alcohol in your truck, talking to nobody. I'll be home with the gasoline. You'll be strange, you'll be far away.
At those shows, you were actually still selling those tapes at the door. I remember you being at the door and trying to sell these midget rule tapes.
Yeah. Well, this one's actually called Golden Feelings, and I think it's the last 4-track tape I ever did. I used to do these 4-track tapes, and I was, writing songs and recording them all the time. So this was the last one that I did before I got too busy to do them anymore.
Oh yeah?
But they're fun because they're sort of like musical diaries, and I do about 3 or 4 of them a year, and I'd sell them at shows. And it wasn't really to make money off them. It was just it was my humble way of distributing my music.
So how many of these tapes did you make in total?
Oh, probably like 7 or something.
So you must have written about 200 to 300 songs in total.
Yeah, I wrote a lot of songs. Yeah, it's true.
This is one song on that tape. It's called Heartland Feeling. It talks about the John Mellencamp and Bruce Springsteen style.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you do that song, which is very much in that particular style.
Yeah, the story behind that is Loser had been sitting around for a couple of years, and way before somebody actually got around to putting it out and it became a hit, some producer guy that produced Bruce Springsteen heard it somehow, some tape that got passed around, and he wanted to have a meeting with me, and he invited me to his fancy house in Beverly Hills, and I went up there and had this talk with him, and and just went on for hours and hours, and finally it just came down to, he just laid it on the line. You got to write some songs for the people, that speak to the heartland of America and talk about what's going on now. I don't know, it just kind of struck me wrong. You write about your life, you don't write music to cater to other people's lives, really. So it seemed sort of a joke, so I went home and I did exactly what he said. It has about 18 verses, I think. Sometimes I'll play it in the show until the whole room clears out and everyone leaves.
It keeps on going.
Yeah. Because it's just really two chords. And it just, each verse is like a vignette of the heartland, America. Old man Johnson got his head in his hands, making his way across state in a fiddle and band. Hair all down in his eyes, and the microphone was covered with flies. Take it. The phone's doing a solo, right? When he got done playing, he went back to his room. He climbed near the bed in his cowboy boots, lit a cigar, picked up a magazine. Bed caught on fire, he was falling asleep. Well, he's only a person, doesn't know shit. Nothing happening. That's about it. Well, it goes on and on. That's the first verse. And, you know, each story just wrote itself, and you know, after that meeting, I was pretty shook up. So.
What about the Appalachian music that Johnny Cash mentioned? What kind of music is that? I mean, that he liked so much that you
know, Carter family songs. You know, just all that balladry stuff. You know, I was really into that. I was into that Appalachian harmony, bluegrass harmony. You know, more bluegrass developed out of that. Go away, don't wake my mother. For love's a thing she can't endure. She's been the moon of many a lover. She'll be the moon of many more. I think it goes higher, actually. Who's that knocking at my window? You know, that's like the more mellow stuff. Not so loud and won't come in. It is you, true-hearted lover. Rise you up and let him in. I wish I was a little sparrow. I took a like eternal love and fly away to a lonesome valley and settle down in a land of love. But you know, you bust this out in a concert, the kids just, you know, they freak out, and then you start, you're late, you know. So I'm.
But what about
you know,
when you were doing like the coffee houses?
Now.
When you were doing the coffee houses in New York, did you do that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, all the time. People are like, what the hell are you doing?
It's a cold ass fashion, which is for my